That is, and we've just requested the invite from Trick or Treat themselves, who should be joining us. There we are. Oh, excellent. Oh, there's a lot of people. A lot of love. Oh, I like to see that on the side. Lots of love going up the screen. I don't think it's for me. I think it's more for Trick or Treat. But I'm quite happy to ride on the coattails of you, Sam. Maybe it's just you they love.
I doubt it.
Are they new spectacles you've got? Are they new ones? Different?
I have a few different pairs, but these ones glow in the dark. So today was a glow in the dark.
Ah, right. So does it depend what mood you're in?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, we have Louise with us this time, like last week, because the week before I was useless at answering questions. So, Louise, say hello.
Hello.
Go on, put your hand across so that people know you're here. No, they can't see you. There you go. There's a hand. There. So we know that she's here, and it's not just an audio link. Lots of people joining us. Thank you very much. Louise is going to keep a check on the questions, which means I can relax. And you can relax, and yeah, we can just have a good chat, and then we'll have some questions every now and again. So, whilst we're still waiting for people to join, have you had a good week, Sam? Have you been busy?
Yeah, it's been it's been good. We've been getting a lot of snow. It just won't stop. It's making me want to move to California more and more. But
But you're in New England, which is basically Britain.
It's New England, yeah.
New and improved.
Yeah. No, I mean, born and raised New England, so I mean, my winter, my ability to withhold in the winter is stronger than most. We're a hardy winter people.
Oh, that sounds something out of a horror movie. Oh, we're the hardy winter people. You know, don't cross the hardy winter people, because who knows what might happen to you. But there's lots of people still joining. It's creeping up. Quite a lot of people we've got on here now. So people are, what I would say, guys, is that if you've got any questions to ask, feel free to post them in here. If we don't answer them straight away, that is because my beautiful wife, Louise, is sat at the side of me taking notes and making a note of the questions, because basically, being a man, I struggle to do two things at once. So I can talk and look, but then remember and make a note of the questions. I'm just awful. So we'll come back at certain points and answer some questions. But we have got another couple of things for you to show us, guys, haven't you? I just wanted to say that for those guys in the UK and Europe, last week when your colleague Anthony did the live, didn't he? He showed the Talkie Tina. And this week it arrived today, as you can see here. She's with us, arrived today. So we are, for those of you who are waiting for her, we are shipping them out at the beginning of next week and getting them out to everybody who placed pre-orders. So the long wait is over, and she's definitely worth it, which is why she sat with me. So, oh, good to see a few regulars just logging in. So that's great as well. Have we got any questions yet, Louise? Shall we? I was about to call her Lisa instead of Louise.
Okay. That
could be a bit awkward, couldn't it? Have we got any questions yet?
Yes.
We'll do a couple of questions first, Sam. If that's okay with you, and then we're going to you can show us your wares afterwards.
Somebody asked about the Halloween Kills mask when it was going to be released, but you can't show anything, can you? Until later in the year.
No.
So let's get that one out of the way.
We'll get that one out of the way straight away. It'll probably be asked several times again when people join. And it has been asked in previous weeks, but it's, you know, not everybody is able to watch every week's Every week's live. So no, more than happy for people to ask that. Still no news on it though, but as soon as there is news, you will let us know, won't you?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
We are ready and waiting. We have everything worked up and ready. Everything. I mean, most of the stuff is in our warehouse already. We're just kind of waiting for Blumhouse and Miramax and all of them to agree and let us show it to people.
Yeah, and as soon as the green light goes, I think it's going to be a bit of a mad rush, isn't it, for people around the world? It's very waited for. Anything? Another one, Louise?
And yes. Are you anywhere near showing any of the new Gremlins?
The new Mogwais, I'm guessing they're talking about.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2. So those are being worked on by Russ Lukic. He's currently got 2 of them completed, and we're still kind of trying to work out all of the development aspect of it, as far as like how they're going to be posable, like what the actual final materials are going to be. I mean, these are going to probably be a little bit, I believe they're a little bit larger than our other Mogwais.
Right.
But, we've been sort of taking our time getting to Gremlins 2, because until now we didn't really think that we had a factory that could handle the amount of detail that would have to go into the Mogwais and the Gremlins from Gremlins 2. It's always been something that people ask about, and I love Gremlins 2, but the designs in Gremlins 2 are much more intricate. So it's been taking a bit. So we're starting off with a few. Russ has been, the plan is to do all the Mogwais, and he's been working on them diligently. I think that we're going to have possibly 3 released this year. There's the 2 that are in the catalog, and then there's the 3rd, which was, it was in the presentations to the retailers and stuff, but we didn't really have anything. But he's currently trying to finish that one up, which is, I want to say it's Lenny is the one that he's working on. So.
Right. Okay. I'm sure there's going to be a massive response for that, because it's kind of like Gremlins. It's sort of like, I know the people who sort of like parents watch it with their children. It's kind of like in some way introduce them to horror, but it's something that people feel confident with younger children, that they're not going to scare them too much, but give them a little bit of scare, but a little bit of humor as well. And they're just brilliant films. I think that was
definitely one of the first ones I showed my daughter.
Yeah,
and she still loves Gremlins now. I feel a little bad because she's got all of very out of date references at her disposal. Like I've kind of, like, she goes to school and she's like, I like Gremlins, Star Wars, and one of her favorite movies is Big Trouble in Little China. But so it's like none of her friends have any idea.
That's brilliant. No, it's great. We have a gremlin, our own office gremlin, don't we, Louise? Who basically moves around the office and the warehouse, and he gets moved every now and again. And occasionally, you just find it's one of your latex full-size gremlins, and you'll walk into a room and just like see him, sat on the refrigerator in the kitchen, or he'll be sat on one of the shelves peering at you. He gets moved around quite a bit.
Those are some of my favorite props.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Grab one more question before we get into the...
Yes, when are Glenn and Tiffany going to ship? So we need a ship date from... I know we've had this before, but everybody's still asking.
And there's some people who won't have seen this before.
Yeah, won't have seen it before, so it's a popular question.
Yeah. Everything is on track as far as I am aware. They are on a boat. They're on their way here. They're going to be arriving. I believe their ship date is in March. And there's no
Yeah.
change in that at this point.
Which is going to be very similar for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
So
on
anyone in the UK and Europe.
yeah, we've been we're on schedule as soon as they arrive with you to get them for those people who have pre-ordered the with it over here in Europe, those people who have pre-ordered the Glenn and Tiffany, we are looking to air freight them direct over instead of sea freight, so that we get them straight away. And you guys, because you guys who placed the pre-order, you'll get them in advance of everybody else. So it's yes, we're all excited to see them, particularly after having seen Glenn last week.
Yeah.
I think that's made people excited even more. We've had people ringing us up this week saying, "Oh, I want to pay for Glenn. I want to pay for Glenn. I want Glenn." He's become suddenly very, very popular.
I think there's been about 50 questions on here asking, "Are we going to see Tiffany today?" And I think the answer is probably no.
No.
So now
she's in California. She came, we were when we did our first live stream, we were about a week too late because I had both Glenn and Tiffany here, but I had to ship them back after I was done doing, promo photos with them. And it was unfortunate because it was like just a week too late. I sent them out,
but she'll be worth the wait.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Glenn's funny because Glenn was probably the one that I had like no feelings about, really.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, it's Glenn, whatever. But the second I had him in person, because I'd seen all the photos of him and been working with the factories to get all that kind of stuff done. But when I had him in person, I was like, I think he might be my favorite. Yeah. And I don't know. I can't really explain why. I don't know. But he is just kind of, he's that particular doll is just really it's pretty wonderful. So
yeah, great.
Yeah,
okay.
it's going to be great. Okay, so you do have something to show us.
I have a few things.
You've got a couple of things to show us. Let's see the first one. Your choice.
Well, since this one's already been launched for pre-order, we'll kind of go this one.
Yeah.
These are the samples of the Dracula Medallion. So obviously this is not the packaging it's going to come in, but this is a rough idea of what the packaging is going to be like.
Okay. So can you just hold that up closer to the?
I have
one. You're way ahead of me, aren't you?
Wow.
Oh wow! Look at the detail
That's
on that.
Great.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is actually.
That tail?
Yeah, is it very heavy?
I'd say it's probably a little bit lighter than the Hearted Dembala.
Okay.
Right.
But it's a hefty piece of metal.
Yeah.
And we went the extra mile to get this special ribbon, this moire pattern. If you can see it, it kind of looks like a wood grain pattern.
Yeah,
but this is a very difficult to find pattern, but it is screen accurate. I actually, I was working very closely with the artist, Jeff Carlson. Jeff Carlson, he runs a company called Maniac Monsters, and he's been making Dracula medallions for years. I have this is one of his original ones. Like, this is a casting.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he's been making them for years, and we finally approached him and I was like, hey, do you want to put that out? So we went through the steps to put out the one that he had actually made, like by hand. And what ended up happening was that because we wanted to make it in metal, it had to be remodeled. So with that, we ended up just working together to sort of push even what his original design was and really make it even more of something. So Jeff helped in all the detailing and the consultations, the consulting on what the center should look like and how it should sit.
Sorry, Sam, what does it look like on the reverse?
It's just flat on the back, but it's
okay. Right.
There's going to be on the final version. There's going to be a Universal Monsters logo and some legal info. But we wanted to make something that could top what was out on the market, and really come in at an affordable level, because as a huge Universal Monsters fan, I was always bummed out because I was like, I'm not going to spend $250 on a Dracula medallion. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So working with Jeff was really fun. I spent a really, really long time researching and tracking down where to get this ribbon. And we ended up...
that was thrilling.
Where do you, just out of interest, where do you start with something like that? Is it Google?
Well, like of course it's Google, but I had to, and it's like, we ended up, well, it's like I said, it's a moire pattern, and it's usually what's used for like actual awards and like medals given to people.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding a supply factory, or like a supply house for Freemason stuff.
Yeah.
So, because they have all like that kind of weird stuff, and it was a manufacturer in I think it's in Pakistan. I can't remember. But we had to source it from an outside factory and have it shipped to our other factory that was putting the medallions together. So it was it was a labor of love, but I mean, this, I think ultimately it came out to be one of the cooler pieces.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, it'd be so easy to just put it on a piece of red ribbon, wouldn't it? And it's I think sometimes, I know I don't necessarily appreciate all the time and effort that goes into,
that's great,
you know, sourcing the right materials,
really,
and
really
the
nice.
materials you end up rejecting and everything like that. It's
I mean,
great,
even I mean, Talkie Tina is actually a great example too. And one of the things I love about working for Trick or Treat is that the people who are in charge and the people who started the company are huge fanboys, and they, you know, Justin in particular takes this so dead serious, and he doesn't mess around. If there is a minute detail, he wants it to be there if he can make it happen. So with Talkie Tina, when she was originally brought to us, I mean, she was just a doll, and I was like, can we make her talk? Because I mean, what good is Talkie Tina if she doesn't really talk?
If she doesn't talk,
So the factory was like, yeah, we can do that. We just need to know like how you want it to activate and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up having to do all of the screenshot research to figure out what the knobs on the back were supposed to look like.
Oh, right.
So it was, you know, blurry 1960s television captures to try to figure it out. And then I had to go into the episode and pull out all the audio tracks and try to clean them up as best I could. But so that was all kind of a fun addition to that particular piece. But I mean, again, it's just because we want these pieces to feel more like artifacts than just toys.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that, I mean, the fact that we have people who will purchase these and they'll buy more than one, because one they want to take out of the box, one they want to keep in the box, shows that they value the item itself as a collector's artifact, you know, rather than just a doll. And I think that only happens when it's a quality product. So no, that's great. Have we got any more questions, Louise?
Yes, we have some people bursting with one question.
One question.
I need to ask, otherwise
it'll be a question that I bet, will it be a question that has never been asked before?
No, I think it was asked last week, but I'm sure these guys weren't on last week. You don't have the Rob Zombie Halloween license, but would you like to have it, and do you foresee in the future that at some point you might?
So if I remember correctly, Anthony was talking about it a little bit last week, and he was saying that like how close we came. And I mean, it came close enough that Justin had sourced where the masks were coming from, and they were all ready. And it was just a matter of the people who, you know, have the rights. They don't.
It didn't happen.
They don't care to move. It's just unfortunate, but it's something that happens.
So it's just a waiting game, really, and hoping that at some point it'll become available. So you would love to do it, I guess, but it's just not possible at the moment.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, guys, that we've answered your question, but it's probably not the answer that you want.
Still a lot of people joining us, so welcome for those of you joining us. Just so you know, if you've got any special questions, put them in the chat. Louise is here with me, and she's writing them down, and we're asking, interjecting every now and again. We've had a lot of questions. I saw that there was a couple of questions again about Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Leatherface for this year, but you know, that's not happening this year, is it? For because of the license details. You know, there's things come, things go. You're obviously trying to do as much as you can for everybody, but there are over 150 items being released. Yeah, new items being released this year.
Yep.
And that's how it stands at the moment. I keep seeing, you know, little posts sort of like, there may be other things. Things like.
Well, I mean, the stuff that's mostly been revealed has not been any of the collectible side. I guess that's what I'll say. Is that there's a bunch of other things on the collectible side that are going to be coming this year. Once we have good ideas of dates and things like that, that's when we're going to be starting to get stuff out. I know I keep seeing people asking about Art the Clown. I mean, we wanted to launch it as soon as we can. Right now, we're still awaiting one last final step of approvals, and once we do that, then we'll have like a real date as to when we can promise that he'll be coming out. I would anticipate our ultimate goal is to have him shipping by October at the latest. So the pre-order should be happening pretty soon, but we shall see.
And that's the thing with things like Art the Clown and everything else as well. It's not just a case of you guys thinking, right, we're going to make this. Okay, here's the design. We're going to make it. We've done it. That's it. We're going to ship it. You need to get, because these are officially licensed products, you need to get approval, and it needs to be as accurate as possible. So there's a lot of testing and approval that needs to go into these items, aren't there?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, and also, again, with Justin, you know, he's very meticulous, and he looks over the products that he's like, especially with the figures, those have been kind of his baby. And, you know, he brought Alex in to help him develop that line. And when he gets the samples, he really looks them over, and he makes very specific notes. And we just keep chugging along, and we're just waiting for a final paint sample, and we should be good.
And then it's all good to go. Anything else, Louise, at the moment?
One thing that I was wondering about as well, that was asked last week, and unfortunately we didn't get round to answering it. I don't know if you know this about it, Sam, whether you know the answer, but there was talk of a life-size pumpkin head. Did that get made? I seem to think it did.
There was a plan to make the life-size pumpkin head, and I don't think that it's off the table. We ran into issues with sourcing like someplace to get them made that was reliable enough that we could keep them at a not astronomical price. I mean, granted, it's still a life-size pumpkin head, so it's enormous. But there's only one copy of it currently in existence, and it's in the Trick or Treat Studios office.
I thought I'd seen it. Yeah, that's right. I must have seen it in the background sometime.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else to show us?
Again, this is already up for pre-order, but I just had gotten this print sample, so I have the 2018 Myers figure box.
Oh.
Nice.
So this one just came in and was approved, and
wow.
Ready. I mean, these guys are shipping. Yep, these guys will be shipping. Obviously, I don't have the figure right now, but these will be shipping on time as well. We're just awaiting their arrival.
Is the back of the box printed as well inside the window?
Oh yeah.
I think I could see it. Is it the stairway?
It's the
doorway.
The doorway.
Nice.
You see, I like that. I mean, it's me and Mark had our live at lunchtime today earlier, and we were talking about, shall we say, a box for a figure which I'm just going to say isn't produced by Trick or Treat. I'm not going to say who it was. But we were looking at it and we were saying it's a shame that the figure looks okay, but they've done nothing, not a lot with the box on the inside, and it seems like it adds so much more to have some sort of design in the back of the box and inside, doesn't it? It's sort of like you feel like you're getting more for your money, and there's more thought gone into it. I do like value for money.
I mean, who doesn't?
And I like my packaging. Can you show it up again?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, so for me, it's always been, I want it to be able to stand on its own in the box, and if people want to leave it in the box, they get to keep it in the box, or if they want to take it out, I want it to be, if I can, I want to make it worthwhile opening. So. Even in this case, it's like when the figure's in here, you're really not going to see it, but it's just there. I want all aspects to be considered. Talkie Tina has a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it an Easter egg, but it's got a little hidden thing on the inside of the box. But
I'm looking now.
It's down. I believe
I cannot see it without taking it out.
Nope.
I don't really want to do that.
You've got to think about hiding detail in products.
You have, haven't you?
Haven't you?
Is this a Sam first thing?
Yeah.
It's sort of like
I guess so. I just do it, and it turns out that way. I mean, even the Book of the Dead, when that's in its box, you can't see anything. But if you take it out, it's got the portal behind it, and it's just because I don't know. That's just how I approach these types of things.
Oh, that's great. Have we got any more stuff coming?
So these guys should be going. I believe they're going to be coming up for pre-order soon. They're not up yet, but I had these handy, and I thought it might be kind of fun to show. The Vacuform Chucky, these Curse of Chucky masks.
Hey.
These guys, they're
so
actually.
That's a Vacuform with attached hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's Vacuform, is it? Yeah.
Yep. It's a pretty big Vacuform too, as you can see.
Yeah. It's massive.
So this is just the regular version. So these are from Curse of Chucky.
Yep.
And then we have.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I like that. What are the eyes?
I think I like the scarred Chucky more than the other Chuckies.
Yeah.
Myself, it's a personal preference, but
yeah. So I mean, it's got cutout eyes. It's very easy to see out of.
So there's no mesh there.
Is there any
no
mesh
mesh
over the eyes? Right.
Nope. Just
because
your eyes.
With the light inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Louise said it would be good hung on the wall with a light inside it.
Oh yeah. But so these were direct from Tony Gardner again. These are actually made off of the stunt mask, I believe, from the film.
Mm-hmm.
So there was two different versions of the stunt mask. There's obviously the scarred and then the regular version, but that's what these were developed off of. And I mean, these things are actually, I think that this is probably one of the best Chucky representations in a mask that I've seen done at this point. It really, when it's in the plastic, it really makes a difference.
Yeah. So these aren't up for pre-order yet, but they will be in due course. So for those of you watching, you've got a sneak preview of what it's going to look like. So when it comes up for pre-order, you can say to everybody, "I've seen that."
And these are the production samples. So this is exactly what the final product is going to be. And
are they the normal sort of thickness Vacuform, like all the other Vacuforms, or are they slightly different, would you say?
I'd say they're about the same as the other Vacuforms. I mean, if you want to see the back in here, it's got some foam just because it's kind of oversized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then there's one other thing that I've been talking to you about this, because so this is a little ways off from being up for pre-order, but this was something that was my brainchild, and this was something that I developed. which was the Halloween 3 witch board or talking board.
Yeah.
So we got the prototype of the planchette in here.
What's that made out of? Is it wood?
This one is just plastic, but it's actually the final one is going to be it's going to be glow in the dark plastic.
Okay.
Wow.
Great.
All the raised areas will be black on it, and the board itself is going to glow in the dark too. So it's going to be a fun piece. But I worked on this from start to finish with the help of sort of not so much like the help, but like a little bit of guidance from my friends. It's the Talking Board Historical Society.
Really?
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
Historical Society.
My good friend John, he's one of the higher ups at the Talking Board Historical Society, and they are experts on all things to do with Ouija, talking boards, and like the history, the patents, everything. And I had to use their help a little bit to get Universal to okay us making the talking board, because they were very worried that we were infringing upon the Ouija board. But
right.
I needed
how far
proof.
How far down the process is that at the minute? You're saying it's sort of like a longer term process.
Well, so we kind of got to like good milestones right before all the factories closed down for Chinese New Year. The last thing, basically at this point, I'm just awaiting a printed sample of the board itself, and then I'm going to be designing the box. But the boards are going to be. This is glamorous, really riveting stuff, but this is like the material sample for what the board's going to be made out of. So it's a nice. So
you get
I got
all these things, all these samples delivered to you, and you've got like a room with a pile of rejects from various things that you. I bet all you guys. I bet Justin does as well. I bet he has a room in his house of a pile of rejected materials. But no, can't do that.
I have a storage unit specifically for trick-or-treat products that are around for photography and things like that, and then print samples and things like that. So, I mean, like, I got sent a huge box of wrapping paper when we started developing that. So it's like a bunch of really ugly wrapping paper, but it's a bunch of different print options, and then a bunch of really strange pink ribbon. Just a variety of it. And so yeah, I mean, this is like, obviously it's not very exciting right now, but to see what it's actually ultimately going to be out of, which is a similar material to what the new wood signs are made out of, but obviously thinner. But it's not going to be like a cardboard Ouija board or anything like that. It's going to be a pretty nice, significant piece, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Brilliant. Okay. Questions, Louise?
Yes. Maybe a couple of. Oh, what can I do?
She's not keeping up.
Sorry, I'm
gonna have to sack her. She's supposed to be here to do a job, watch questions, and what she's doing, she's spending too much time watching and watching what you're showing, Sam. And you're supposed to be doing a job.
It's hard to keep up. Ghoulies. Have you seen, or are you at the stage where you may have some samples, or you've had samples, or are we way off that stage yet?
We are not. We're. I mean, I'm involved in that. I know everything that's going on because. Yeah. But no, we're kind of awaiting the factory to complete a finished sample of the puppets. I believe the masks are probably closer to being ready than the actual puppets are, but because those are pretty complicated. The fish ghoulie puppet took Justin, I mean, he was working on that for months, and it shows, and it came out unbelievable, but we shall. He should
have just picked up the phone to me. I'd have probably sorted it for him, done it in 5 minutes, and said, "Here, Justin, that'll do."
We have a question asking, will the new Spiral merchandise come out at the same time before or after the movie? Are you hoping to get it out before the movie?
I imagine we are. I think that they're I mean, you know, with Halloween, there's a little bit more of like, you know, that it's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it may not be the same kind of thing. I don't know what kind of twists and turns they have in that film, or what they're going to want to try to keep as quiet as they can. We currently haven't been told when we can release that stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully soon.
So you just can't say a lot about that, unfortunately.
I did see somebody ask a question about, are there any plans to do a 12-inch Loomis?
There is discussion of such things.
I love the way you guys put these things.
Well, you have to.
Like,
it's like
there
politics,
is
isn't it?
discussion of such things.
So
brilliant.
Loomis is always a little bit different than other characters, just because it is just Donald Pleasance. Like, there isn't really a whole lot, you know what I mean? Like, he's not wearing like any kind of prosthetics or anything like that. I mean, obviously in the later films he is, but it's, you know, just navigating the legalities of it, and getting the proper approvals, and also things like, you know, again, Justin's extraordinarily particular, and he wants to make sure that if we do other characters, such as, you know, people who aren't, you know, 6'2" bodybuilders, like, that we have an appropriate, you know, scale body to do them on. So obviously Dr. Loomis is a lot different of a shape than Michael Myers. So it's one of those details that has to be worked out.
I guess that applies to the same questions about Laurie and young Michael Myers and so on. It's the same sort of thing. It all has to be right and doable.
You would always, there would always be discussions.
Yep. And I believe, I actually believe that Justin has already revealed this to people in the Trick or Treat Studios group, but we have developed our own 1/6 scale child body.
Okay.
So that we can develop those types of characters. So, you know, as you probably have seen, like, you know, we have a few coming out already planned for this year. Like, there's, I think we already have 4 lined up that should be coming out this year. Which 4 you get to try to decipher, but.
Which leads us on to another question.
I'll just say that my background has a couple clues in it, but you know, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
This is a point where everybody does screenshots.
Yeah, possibly.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Leads us on another question about 6 scale figure Art the Clown. We're all desperate for him to come out. Earlier. Did you cover it? Yeah,
we covered Art the Clown.
Oh, well, I've just been asked it again, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Did you say when it was coming out, when it was be released, though? I wasn't talking just generally. So people are wondering when it's actually going to be released. Are you able to say that yet, or do we not yet know?
We don't know when the pre-order is going to be. My estimate is that we're going to be probably having him with a October ship date, like we did the H1 figure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, great. Okay, good. Hope that answers the question.
Somebody asking, is there a Halloween Kills figure planned? I mean, we haven't even had the movie out yet. we haven't got anything out. You know, so it's hard to know what the figure would look like, really. So it's yes, I think. I mean, it's obviously it shows there's demand there, but I don't think that will be this year.
Yeah.
Will it?
Yeah.
No, I think it's something we'd need to. Oh, he's done a wink. He's a tease. There have been discussions, is the phrase of the night. There have been discussions.
There have been emails.
Goolies. Anything else, Louise? Have we covered everything, or is there anything else?
We had a similar question about the 1978 Halloween accessory pack.
I think we had that question. Was it last week or the week before, actually? But it might be somebody who didn't.
So, I mean, Anthony kind of unofficially announced it last week, unexpectedly to me. I mean, which is, it's fine.
Alluded.
Yeah, he alluded to it. No, he straight up said that it was coming. So,
we're ready.
There have been discussions.
So, yes, lots of discussions, some whispers. But I would say that the accessory pack will be launched probably about the same time as art. So they're both kind of on track with each other as to where they are in the entire process. So again, probably October ship date, but it is a very cool accessory pack, and it is the price point that it's going to be $89.99, and it's got a bunch of stuff in it. So it'll be good.
Great. Yeah. Look forward to that.
Something to look out for. There's lots of stuff for lots of people to do to get this year, and there's going to be a lot of work for all of us involved, which is great news for everybody.
Yeah.
So each year you guys come out with more and more things. So anything else, Louise?
Oh, this is a good question.
Oh,
is there going to be a Freddie versus Jason glove?
Not as of right now. We're still trying to work out the details of the Nightmare on Elm Street contract, because when we got it, it was right when Warner Brothers was going through the legal battle with the Wes Craven estate.
Okay.
And if I believe that it has reverted back to the Wes Craven estate. So there's a whole new negotiation that would need to happen to further do Nightmare on Elm Street products, or new ones, to add new ones to the line. But I don't think that that's something that we're not going to pursue. So
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's lots of things to watch this space about, and there's always discussions going on about many things. We certainly appreciate you joining us tonight, Sam, as you did a couple of weeks ago. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to everybody for all your questions. We've tried to cover as many as possible. Ultimately, we can never cover everybody's questions, but I hope that we've answered as many as we could do.
I've tried to keep up as best I can. If I've missed anything, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We'd really appreciate everybody joining us and asking questions and taking part in this. Otherwise, we would look pretty silly just sat here talking to ourselves, wouldn't we, Sam? So thank you so much for joining us. We do hope to do these again, carry on doing these again in the future. We may look at possibly doing it on a different day, or something like that. But watch this space, and we will certainly be in touch. As soon as the pre-orders are ready to go up, then you guys will be putting yours up, won't you, Sam? And we will be putting ours up for pre-order as well. And any questions, please get in touch. But on that note,
we'll be back soon. As soon as there's something new to show you.
Yes, we will be back soon. And once again, thank you very much. Please say hello to your lovely wife from us. And we will speak soon. But on that note, we'll say goodbye, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. And,
thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time, Sam, as well. We will definitely speak to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye then.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.